Hi there, in this video we're going to learn about circumference. Your objective for today is to find the circumference of a circle and to find the radius and diameter given the circumference of a circle. Before we can begin, we have to understand what the parts of a circle are. So the first thing you need to know is diameter. Diameter is the distance across a circle through the center. So here, this line represents the diameter. Your next word that you need to know is the radius. The radius is the distance from the center to the outside of the circle. The diameter is 2 times the length of the radius. Or you could think of it as saying the radius is half the size of the diameter. So if I told you that the diameter is 10 centimeters, then the radius would be 5 centimeters. Right? And the circumference is the distance that is all around the outside of the circle. So what we have here in red, that would be the circumference. Alright, so the next thing we need to know is the formula for circumference. But before we can understand the formula for circumference, we have to know what this variable is. That is pi. Pi is an irrational number beginning with 3.14159, and it just continues on and on and on and on. It is most useful when we're talking about circles. So we have two formulas. We have c equals pi times diameter, and we have c equals 2 times pi times the radius. The first formula is used when you are given the diameter, or if you're looking for the diameter, given the circumference. The second formula is used when you are given the radius or when you're looking for the radius. Alright, so it says find the circumference given the radius, use 3.14 for pi. So here we have a circle. We have a line from the center out, which means that is the radius. So the formula that we will use is c equals 2 pi r. We're not using c equals pi times diameter because we're given the radius here. So we start with our formula, c equals 2 pi r, and we're going to substitute. So we're going to substitute pi in for 3.14 and r in for 4. So we have c equals 2 times 3.14 times 4. And once we multiply those three numbers, we end up getting 25.12 meters. In our next example, it says find the circumference given the diameter. Use 3.14 for pi. So looking at the circle, the line goes across the whole circle. So we are given the diameter of 12. So we're going to substitute. C equals pi, we're going to substitute 3.14 in for pi. And D, we're going to substitute 12. So when we multiply, we end up getting 7.68. In our next examples, we need to find the exact circumference. That means that it's written in terms of pi, or in other words, pi is in your answer. So in the first example that we have here, we have a circle and we have the radius of 5. So the formula that we're using is c equals 2 pi r. So we're going to plug in. We have 2, that just stays, right? Pi, we're going to keep pi the way that it is. We're not substituting any numbers in for pi. And then we have r, which we're going to substitute 5 in for. So we have c equals 2 times pi times 5. And then we can start, we can simplify this. We can multiply 2 times 5 and get 10. So we have c equals 10 pi. So that is actually our answer. The circumference is 10 pi centimeters. In the other example, we have a circle and a line that goes across the whole thing. So the line that goes across the whole thing is called the diameter, right? So we have c equals pi times diameter. This is the formula that we're going to use because we're given the diameter. And then we're going to substitute. We're going to keep pi 3.14, or we're not going to plug in 3.14, I'm sorry. We're going to keep pi the way that it is, and we're going to plug in 36 for d. So we have c equals pi times 36, or 36 pi. So our circumference is 36 pi centimeters. In the next example, we have to find the diameter given the circumference, and we're using 3.14 again for pi. So here's a Ferris wheel. We're given a circumference of 220 feet, and we need to find the diameter, or d. So let's plug in our numbers. C, we're plugging in 220. Pi, we're saying that it's 3.14, and d is just d. Right? Now this, if you guys notice, is a one-step equation. Right? So we know how to solve a one-step equation. We would start off with dividing both sides by 3.14. That will cancel out the 3.14 over here, and we're left with 70.06 is equal to the diameter, or 70.06 feet. All right, and in the next example, or I should say the last example, we have to find the radius given the circumference is 25 centimeters. And we are using 3.14 for pi. So, the formula that we're using is c equals 2 pi r, because we are given the radius. So, or I should say we're looking for the radius. I'm sorry, we're looking for the radius. Find the radius. So, since we're finding the radius, then we are using this formula, c equals 2 pi r. Alright, so we're going to start substituting. So c is 25. 2 just drops down. Pi, we're plugging in 3.14. And r just drops down. And now we can actually multiply this 2 times 3.14 to get 6.28. So 25 equals 6.28 r. And this is now a one-step equation, which we can start solving for. So you divide both sides by 6.28. That cancels out the 6.28, and you are left with 3.98 is the radius. So 3.98 centimeters is your radius. Just some concluding thoughts. You would use the formula c equals 2 pi r when you're given the radius, or if you're solving for the radius. I should say given the circumference. And then you would use c equals pi times diameter when you're given the diameter, or if you're solving for the diameter given the circumference. Right, I hope this video helped you learn how to find circumference. Thank you for watching.